Baller here, and I'm going to show you how to play Soul Vibrations by Dorothy Ashby. So this track is a whole, like it says, it's a whole vibe. It is this cool, like retro kind of groove thing. And I wanted to use this song as an example to show you how important it is to just stay in the pocket on the bass. This song is driven by bass, but there you really feel like, oh wait, there's not a lot going on because you don't play like a bunch of notes, but you're pulsing on a consistent rhythm the whole time and just keeping this song like driving forward. So the bass really becomes like this foundation of the song that all these other instruments are juxtaposed against and kind of built upon. The whole time the bass holds it down. And I mean, generally speaking, that's the bass's role in music. Yeah, we can do some cool like flashy things like slapping and stuff like that, but at its core, what we need to be focused on is keeping a foundational groove that the music kind of fills up. Bass is the thing that propels all of the music forward and gives everybody this kind of like head bob thing, where the bass and the drums are locked in, creating this whole foundational moment. So let's get into it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the fifth fret of the E string and play this note, this A note here. Now, since we're only really going to be playing this one note, I want to show you a very special way to play this one note so you can really kind of lock into the groove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my middle finger and my ring finger and push this down together. Alright, this is the basic rhythm that we're playing the whole time. Bop, bop, ba-da, bop, ba-da, ba-bop, bop. So when I'm doing that is I'm squeezing these two fingers together to create that rhythm and then plucking at the same time. Now, why am I using two fingers? Well, this is going to help us get a really clean sound. You're not going to have any extra string noise. Your fingers should be pretty flat. Whenever you play bass, you're more on the pads of your fingers and not on your fingertips like when you play guitar. This is going to help you create a really nice, even tone, okay? Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba. Okay, so what I want you to do for this song is I want you to listen to it and get the hang of that rhythm, and then I want you to lock into that vibe. Like your whole body should be moving during this whole song. Let the music and the beat be a part of your body, not just a part of your bass. That's what's going to help you really lock into the rhythm and get an awesome groove flowing. So I'm just going to vibe on this for a second. So there's one little change in there and a few little variations. So one thing right before this like beautiful keyboard part comes in, it goes to B flat, which is the sixth fret on the E string, and then you go to the D on the A string, the fifth fret, and then you walk down by going back to this note fret, then open, then back to. Now, if you listen closely, you're going to hear this little bing. This actually might be on a stand-up bass. I'm not really sure. It's definitely has that vibe to it for sure. But you can also add in some extra accent notes on the fifth fret of the A string, the D note here. So when I do that, I'm going to have like my horned hand here, right? Where I'm on my pads of my fingers on the 5 on the E string. But I'm going to press down on my joint here where it's lining up with this string. And instead of bouncing back and forth, which creates string noise, I'm going to lay my fingers down into it and just squeeze my thumb so I get that note to come out. All right, back and forth like that. So you can kind of play with that in that zone here. So when we look at like jazz music, I mean, I know jazz gets kind of crazy, but when we look at jazz, like little sections of jazz that actually hip hop pulls from, and I'm talking like, well, like the basic hip hop samples, more so like '90s hip hop, but I know they still sample stuff now. But they'll take like one really cool bass line lick, and then they loop it over and over again to create like a foundational beat for people to rap over. So this method's been used for, all kinds of years now, and that beat of the bass is everything. It's everything. It's the pulse behind the music. So, a lot of times as musicians, we want to like stand up in the front and be like, "Raw, look at me." But a lot of times the role on bass is like, "Hey, I'm going to hold space for you, and I'm going to let you do your thing." And that's what I really like about bass. It's like a space holding instrument where we create a whole vibe and a whole universe, but people don't necessarily even know it. So I think it's this really magical thing. So what I want you to do for this song is spend some time just listening to it with headphones on, and if there's a way you can listen to it with headphones on and then like hear your bass, at the same time, and like lock into it. Like it's a whole vibe, y'all. Enjoy.